Well, today I'm excited because I'm getting a chance to drive the new E-Class Coupe. And really, when you look at it, a lot of people would be forgiven for not noticing much of a change. But yes, you have a new look on the front and the back, notably around the side. There's no longer a B-pillar, which gives it a much sleeker look. So this is an E400 4MATIC, meaning all-wheel drive coupe in the Canadian marketplace. And it starts right around $73,000. Now, you might be forgiven on the outside for not recognizing that it's new, but when you get inside, you instantly know you're driving something expensive. Now, the last E-Class Coupe or cabriolet that I drove was a few years ago, and it was your traditional large center stack loaded with lots of buttons. Now you get the same experience as you get in the E-Class sedan and even the S-Class Mercedes with the beautiful big screens in the center of the dashboard here. Now, I should point out this is not standard. It's part of a premium package that's $4,000, and I would guarantee you that almost every single one the dealership orders or that people buy has this package, which includes a configurable screen behind the steering wheel, which is 12.3 inches. When you combine that with the screen in the center, which is controlled through the center touch controller here, either by the wheel or tracing on top to change things onto that screen, when you put the two of them together, more than half of the dash is this flat glass panel that really looks striking. When people get in the car, they go, wow, that is something special. We saw it first in the S-Class, and now it's in the coupe and the convertible. The center of the dash, you can get different configurations depending on your taste for wood or aluminum, what have you, but all of them have the jet-inspired vents that I like because you can move them in any direction that you want. You don't have to slide levers back and forth. Perfect example, I don't like the air vents blowing on me, so I can just turn those away unless it's really, really hot, and then you can have them pointed at you. So that's a nice feature. Some people, this is kind of polarizing. They think it's maybe too busy. This particular car with the two-tone red seats certainly looks hot, and the back seat is good enough for a couple of extra people. This car is actually bigger than the previous model. It sits a little bit higher, so there's more headroom, not only for the front passengers, but also for the rear passengers. So yeah, take basically what you get in the S and the E-Class, and you get it now in the coupe and the cabriolet. Now, under the hood, even though this is not an E43 AMG, it's an E400. The naming of the Mercedes Benz cars has been a little bit confusing, but trust me, the engine is strong. So the traditional image of an E-Class owner is middle-aged, silver hair, the banker type, heading down to Bay Street, Wall Street, you name it. But this new class of E-Class, the new latest versions, have really changed that perception, hopefully for a lot of potential buyers, because they're making Mercedes Benz do a little bit of everything. Because you can have adaptive suspension, you have adaptive engine and transmission profiles, you can make the car sedate for that traditional luxury buyer, or much more engaging and fun to drive for a more youthful person that is attracted to the Mercedes-Benz brand because of the rich heritage and what it says about where you are in your life. So under the hood of this E400 is a really strong 3-liter twin turbo. It's got 329 horsepower, but 354 pound-feet of torque. And turbocharged engines are really good at doing a lot of things. They're great at cruising along at low RPM on the highway and giving you great fuel economy, but when you get the revs up, you can have a load of fun. Now, the big change for 2018 is the 9-speed automatic transmission. This is an in-house 9-speed from Mercedes-Benz. It's not shared with any other brand, and it is one of the best transmissions I've used in the last few years. It's used in other products from Mercedes-Benz, and it does a great job of keeping this engine either in the economy mode if you're trying to get the best economy, or performance if you want to dial it up. And you can. There is an optional dynamic chassis setting here, and you can go all the way from Eco to Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, and even individual settings. And the Sport and Sport Plus settings really are marked in how different they are from the everyday drive. So what you get is a car that really is fun to drive. Even though it's a fairly large two-door coupe, it's kind of rewarding. Now, there are more high-performance models in the Mercedes-Benz range, but this would be a very comfortable car to have every single day. Great commuter car, and even though we're in an era where coupes and convertibles really aren't as popular as they once were, for those that want to have an opulent car and comfort and power, this is a really nice option. Now, they use this engine for other products like the GLC and the C-Class. In those cars, they call it, say, the C43. In this car, they call it the E400. So the naming of these particular models is a bit confusing, not only for people who follow it, but also for people shopping. Is it an AMG car? Isn't it? Well, in another car, this would be called an AMG. In this car, it isn't. It is confusing, and that's one area where I think Mercedes Benz could clean up their naming of their cars. If this was a C-Class, it would be an AMG. It's still the same engine. It's just not called that in this car. Am I making any sense? So this E-Class Coupe is not inexpensive. It starts at $73,000 in the Canadian marketplace, plus packages. One that you might consider, $4,000 for the premium package. That includes the 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster behind the steering wheel, heated seats, armrest, and a bunch of other things. And there's more and more of them. So the price can go up quickly. If you want the convertible, it starts at roughly $80,000. Engine is strong. It definitely doesn't drive like the E-Classes I remember driving when I started doing this years ago. They were really sedate and kind of dull. This thing can be a load of fun to drive. E-Class Coupe from Mercedes Benz. This one surprised me.